over on accident. It doesn't hurt, it just wouldn't stop bleeding, so it's like I got a big old Band-Aid. It's one of those where it just was kind of deep on the door jamb. Okay, this is a nut bag. This is a nut bag. So, nut bag. Literally is a nut bag. So I am making weed syringes, is what I'm going to make right here. We're going to be working on. Oh, there we are. Okay. Hello. Good up it is. Okay, oh, we're doing it that way.
Yeah, you can see yourself.
Perfect.
Yeah, now, yeah, I'm gonna retweet these.
Okay, hey guys, so I am going to make, well, we already started part of the syringe process, so this is just part of it. So what I did first is I decarboxylated the weed, which means I put the weed in the convection bake for 27 minutes at 250 degrees. I activated the weed. Because in order to make the syringes, you first have to activate the weed. So I did that, and then we put it in the freezer for at least overnight. Here's the weed. We got 2 lives going here. So at least overnight. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use rubbing alcohol. I prefer the 99%, but we might be out, so I might have to use a little bit of the 91. We'll see here. Let me make sure the lids are off before I get started. So this is something you have to do very fast, so I got to make sure all of my stuff's set up before I get started. But it's a little hard now that I messed up my thumb. It doesn't really hurt, it just is, it'll bleed if I take the Band-Aid off, because I cut it pretty good. It got stuck on the door jamb thing, and it just kind of sliced it. Okay. Here we go. What do we got? This is a nut bag. You can also use cheesecloth. We were using cheesecloth, but these nut bags are the best things. What they are is they use them to extract things. That's what I said. They extract, like you could put nuts and squeeze it, but we're going to use it for the weed. Okay, so first what you're going to do is you're going to put the weed into something, big enough to where you can add some alcohol. Oh, I don't know, watch on. Okay, this we have to, it's going to be very quick. You don't want to do this part when we put the alcohol. It can't be over 2 minutes, so.
You want your watch?
Yeah, that's what I was going to get my own watch. But
Here you go.
Jerry, do that for me.
Here.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Oh, my watch. I feel naked without my watch. I got the little characters. All my little characters on my watch. And it's hard to do stuff without your primary thumb.
Is that your best friend?
Your primary.
See, you call me your best friend, but really your best friend
Is your primary thumb?
Your primary thumb.
Mm-hmm. It's actually very hard. You realize how much you need that thumb? Okay. Let me get this guy going. Got my little characters. I get the little characters that change. See how cute they are? They change all the little characters. See the little characters? Oh, they make little, they do little things. They jump out at you and stuff. They're so cute. They move around. Oh. See? Oh. Here we go. There's a new one. It's always a different one. Koala bear. They change. Anyways, okay. So here's our weed. In here. Here, what we're going to do is we're going to add the alcohol. What we are doing is we are stripping the plant matter away from the oils. We want the oils left over, so that's what we're going to make the extract out of. This is a fantastic way to consume weed. What ultimately we're going to do is we're going to put it into a syringe, like so. See one of these? And then ultimately you're going to eat it. I know people see this and think it's a needle. No, it's not a needle. It's just a little tube that the liquid comes out. You put that on there so that it doesn't come out so much. Because if you don't have this little needle tip, too much comes out. But that's what we're going to make. So we make our own. We got those syringes from the dispensary, but now we're making our own. So we use theirs. That's how you're like, how'd you get those syringes? Okay. I I have some 99 here, but I'm almost out, so I might have to use some 91, but I prefer 99% isopropanol alcohol for this. We're gonna put it on the weed. Now we only want it for 2 minutes, so this is the quick process, okay? So I'm gonna have to do this real quick. We're gonna pour these alcohols. Let's see. I might have to put some of the 91 because we don't have much in these other bottles. So I'm gonna pour it on the weed real quick. We're at 1823. We don't want this for over 2 minutes. So I'm gonna try and get all the weed covered with alcohol. Okay, we did not have enough, so we have to go into this one. It needs to be completely covered with the rubbing alcohol. Okay. You want to pat it down a little bit, make sure it's all covered, but you do not want to mess with it too much because you want it to just kind of say you shake it a little bit. Then we got our strainers over here. We're going to put this in here and we're going to use our nut bag is what we're going to pour that as that's settling. It's stripping the plant, but we don't want to leave it for too long because then it'll take too much off. We don't want that. We want to keep as much terpenes as we can and all the good oils. Okay, let go a little bit longer. Make sure, swirl around a little bit. Get a couple more seconds here. Okay, let's get it out of here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to pour it into the nut bag. All of it out of there. And now this can be kind of strong because you are using alcohol, rubbing alcohol. So you might want to open a window or something. So now you have all of this in your nut bag. It's funny. That's what they really call these, nut bags. And what I need to do now is get some gloves. Because, for 2 reasons. You want to put on gloves because, for one, if you don't use gloves, then you're going to lose some of the potency of your weed. It's going to be lost into your skin is what's going to happen. It's going to absorb into your skin. And then your syringe is not going to be as strong. And the other reason why you want to wear the gloves is because working with alcohol is very intense too. So it'd be best to put gloves on. So what I'm going to do is now I'm just going to start squeezing this bag. But I want to make sure, if you're not careful, you'll squeeze up like out the top here. So you want to make sure you cover all of the top, make it more like a ball, and then you start squeezing like this. Just squeezing the weed, because what you're trying to do is get all of the oils out. So you're just going to squeeze this nut bag. Can you guys see this? Maybe over here a little bit. Seeing this okay? Put it down. Okay. You guys are seeing what I'm doing here. I'm squeezing as much oil as you can get out of this, the better, because the more syringe you can make. So squeeze it like for a while, You just keep squeezing. I just sit here and I just squeeze for a while. And just get all of the oils out. Let me make sure. I don't want this to open. Okay. Ooh, slippery. It's slippery. Keep squeezing. And the next step is we strain it in coffee filters. and then you have to burn it off with a rice cooker. So in order to make a syringe, it takes about, I want to say, anywhere from 2 to 4 hours probably. Something like that. And I don't know, I don't think we fully timed it, but it takes a good amount of time. Because you gotta strain it, which takes a while, because once we go to the coffee filter. So you guys will probably won't see the whole process because I'm going to turn it off after this. I'm just showing this initial part where this is how it starts, and then next we're going to put it in coffee filters, so I'll show you guys. Then after that it just has to sit for a while. And then the next step is we burn off the alcohol in the rice cooker. And then you'll have all the oil that you can, it's kind of like a sticky oil, sticky kind of consistency, like a molasses. That's what you're left with after you burn off the oils. Burn off the alcohol, sorry. I'm going to keep squeezing this, because as much as I can squeeze this, this is what we can use for our syringe. So the more, the better. So you guys, this is a great way to consume your weed, is through syringe form. And it's very easy to make. Like, but it just takes a little while, you know? But it's easy. I mean, it's just a couple of steps, but it's time consuming. So all you do is you bake the weed, then you freeze it in the freezer overnight. Then you add alcohol and you squeeze it out like I'm doing. Then you strain it with coffee filters, and then you cook it off the alcohol in a rice cooker. So you just heat up the oil in the rice cooker, and it burns off the alcohol after a while. Okay, this is almost done. So then, okay, so here we go. Now I have, this is all of my oil. I'm going to pour it in here. Let's see how much we ended up with.
I go.
Oh, pretty good actually.
Cool.
Look at that. We almost filled up this whole thing. That's pretty good. Because I only did this small jar, so that was pretty good. That's pretty good. So that almost full there.
Full.
Next step will be the coffee filters. So let me get this cleaned up, and then we gotta. I need to use these, so I gotta clean all this stuff, because we need these filters and things. I think I'm just gonna. I don't think these nut bags will be able to be used again.
You can't reuse them?
Man, they get pretty grimy.
Okay.
I think I have to, just like you don't use the cheesecloth again, I think it's about the same. There we go. Sorry. Bunch of tripods here. Put you guys over here. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna toss that because I think. Yeah, okay. So I'm trying to get all these cameras right spot. Alright, so I gotta clean these off, because we have all of our, this is our weed right here. This is the weed and the alcohol. So we have to burn off the alcohol. And then it only ends up being the tiniest little bit that you end up with. And then you fill like 1 or 2 of those little syringes. But most of that is the alcohol, the rubbing alcohol. So let me clean these, and we need these bins. So bear with me as I clean these, because we have to use these. So hold on a minute. Okay, so let me get these. So now we're gonna do 3 different tubs to strain into, just so that it'll go quicker. I guess technically I can just do that right here to show them, huh, George?
How was that?
I don't actually have to strain it over there, do I? I guess I could just do it right here so they can see it, right?
Sure, go for it.
Yeah, just do it right
yeah,
here.
Yeah, that works fine right here.
Yeah. We'll rice cook it out there, but this part I can
Yeah,
do right
rice cooking is when you have to worry about that.
Yeah, so I'll show you guys so I don't have to take it over there.
Good idea.
Normally we do it over there, but since others have to move all the cameras, so I'm just going to do it right here, show you guys the next step.
You're pretty good doing that. You're kind of the chemist.
Thanks, Claire.
You're pretty good at science, you said.
Yeah. Okay. So
Do
this
people
is
still have identical twins?
identical twins?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And do they still look identical?
Well, if they're identical, they look identical. Because you can have a twin that's not identical.
With all the food, it seems like that people.
Well, when they're born, they look identical. They generally don't look identical later. But
Yeah, because I haven't seen like a set of identical.
no,
twins
because they,
before.
like everything changes as you, get older. You go different paths, so you're not going to look identical because you're going to do different things. But when they're born, they have to look identical to be called identical twins. Otherwise, they're just twins.
Okay, got it.
You see what I mean?
Yeah. And who determines that?
I'm sure when they're born, like, oh, these guys look exactly the same. These ones are identical. Or these ones don't look alike. These ones are not identical.
It seems like,
So here's our rice cooker. Any rice cooker. This is what we're gonna use to burn it off. Right now I'm just gonna use this as another bin. I need this. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put a strainer in each one of these with these to balance. Like this, like so. Okay, so we have our little system here, and then what you do is you put coffee filters. Use the brown ones, because the other ones have like a bleach on them. These are the natural ones. And you put 1 coffee filter in each one of these, because now what you want to do is you want to get all the impurities out. You want to strain out all the gunk so that your syringe is going to not have all this gunk in it. So you do this, and this part is what takes a little while. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take my weed solution. So remember now, this is the weed with the rubbing alcohol. And I'm going to pour it into these things to strain it a bit. Okay? Put a little bit in each one. As it starts to filter through there. It takes a little while actually to strain through these coffee filters. So this is the part that's going to take a little while. And
so
then you're
now you
going
need to talk about the benefits.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll talk about that in 1 minute.
I don't know how wonderful it is.
Yeah. Okay, so voila. So that's then, that now has to strain. So that's going to take about an hour or so. Those have to go through the coffee filters. They take a while to drain all that through there because it's getting all the impurities out of there. And now, the reason why we do this, okay, for many years I did not like weed. I always liked alcohol and caffeine and sugar. I was never into weed, but in 2016, me and Joe Rich pretty much discovered weed in the sense of trying the legal weed for the first time. We went to Colorado and we tried some of the weed up there because we had never tried, dispensary weed, and we had so much fun. We were just like, oh my gosh, it changed our life. And then after that, we literally pretty much have not stopped since 2016. It has become a part of our life, and it has helped me get over bulimia. It has helped me get over all kinds of emotional issues. And also, weed is actually something that your body needs. You have cannabinoid receptors in your body naturally, and we were supposed to be getting weed because weed is from nature. So we were supposed to have weed. It would have been very easy for people to have. It's readily available if it wasn't illegal. And now I get it's legal now, but still, even though now it's partially legal and partially illegal, it makes it very expensive when it should be affordable and easy and everyone should have it. But unfortunately, that's not the case. At least now it's becoming more and more legal. What was horrible was when they were throwing people in prison for something that is not even a drug. Weed is not a drug. Weed is not a drug. Get it out of your mind that weed is a drug. What is a drug is caffeine and sugar. Weed is not a drug. Weed is a plant. It's a weed. It is not addictive. What people get addicted to is the habit of it because they enjoy that. Because you feel good. That does not mean it's addictive. What is addictive is something that when you don't do it, you have withdrawals. And what things have that is caffeine and sugar. Caffeine and sugar are highly addictive, and when you don't have caffeine and sugar, you go through withdrawals. People are so accustomed to what withdrawals are that they don't even know that it's withdrawals. They think it means they're just hungry. So when you feel like, oh, I'm starving, when you just had sugar and, like recently, like maybe yesterday even you had sugar, well, that starving is actually a sugar withdrawal. You are not actually hungry. It's a sugar withdrawal. Your body is saying, give me sugar. That's what you think, I'm starving. You will never experience that if you eat what we eat, which is we eat organic protein. Oh, I'm having low battery here on,
you need a charger?
On your guy, your fella over here, on Blue Steel Leaf. But I might not because I'm actually ending this pretty soon, so I probably don't because this is about to strain. But you guys, seriously, if you haven't tried weed, seriously, try it with an open mind. People get these conceptions like, oh, I tried it when I was a kid and I don't like weed. Don't go with all your like preconceived notions about it because for one thing, probably the weed you experience is not the weed of now because what you maybe like got some black market crap in high school is not what they're selling now. The weed is insane. I mean, you can get anything, and you can make your own stuff very easily. What I'm showing here, with you don't even have to pay the high prices because syringes can get expensive. I'm showing you how to make your own syringes, and syringes are a fantastic way to consume weed because for one thing, it's very discreet. You just put a little bit on your finger and you eat it. It has no smell. No one's ever gonna smell like you don't smell like you're smoking weed or something. Like people, oh, I hate the smell of weed. You don't have that. You can take it with you. You can throw it in your purse, in your pocket, whatever. And it helps with so many things. Weed actually has taken over any sort of other medicine in our life. Weed is our medicine. I do not take any medicine. I do not take any vitamins. I do not do anything but weed, organic beef, and water. That is what I do. And the weed is so healing for all of the different things, but the crap I've done to my body in the past of eating so bad in the past or being bulimic or, just really being harsh on my body. And weed is healing that. And so sometimes people will experience, not feeling good with weed when they first do it or experience tripping out, but usually it's just because the weed is trying to tell you something. Because probably, if you're not feeling good, it's probably because you're eating wrong. So when you smoke the weed or consume the weed, like the syringes like I'm talking about, then if you go, oh, I don't feel good, it's probably something you ate earlier that the weed is saying, why did you eat that crappy thing? And then you're going to blame the weed. That's it. Or even if you drank. People have this weird thing where they get really wasted on alcohol and then they smoke a joint and then they blame the weed for being wasted. When all the weed does would let you know you were wasted from the alcohol. That's what happens. If you ever are drunk and if you smoke weed, you will be aware how drunk you are. That's about, oh, I was so fucked up on weed. No, you were fucked up on alcohol. And the weed let you know you were fucked up on alcohol because every other time you were just blacked out and incoherent. But now you have an awareness that you're walking around stumbling drunk. That's why people are like, oh, I trip out on weed because, man, I got wasted this one time. It was scary. Yeah, because you were aware of what you were doing, which is scary. Because on alcohol, it's scary what you're doing, but you don't even know because you're so unaware with alcohol. But once you have an awareness, With weed, you're like, holy crap, this, and you won't want to drink if you do that for too long, because you'll realize how scary it is and how out of control you are when you drink. You're just like, you're so out, like you're not like having any control. You're just like whatever goes, you know, like it doesn't matter. People don't think anything through. They just go with, you know, oh, that sounds good, do it. You know, they just react with alcohol. Weed, if anything, you sit back and you go, hold on, let me think about this, you know. That's why in the casinos, they don't really want weed to be legal, because they want people to be wasted and forget that they're throwing away their life savings or whatever, you know what I mean? Whereas some of the weed's like, heck with that. So that's why, you know, alcohol is a lot more pushed in the casinos, because people that drink will blow money out. We stoners, for the most part, are like, I don't feel like playing games, you know, but they'll say, man, I keep losing, this is not going to turn around. So also, society doesn't want us to have weed, because then they can't sell us the crap, and we don't like all the stupid marketing. We don't like the dumb shows. When you're smoking weed, you realize, what is this crap they're trying to sell me? Oh yeah, let me pick a box. So Jerry Rich plays SimCity, but he lets me pick the boxes. Let me see. Okay, I'm picking the middle. I like to pick the middle, it's my favorite. A key. Did you need
wonderful.
A key?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Keys are always good.
Well, he's always sweet, because sometimes I pick the shitty things, and he'll, oh, I needed it. A toothbrush.
No.
It's cute that you get to pick little things. Okay, so this is still straining. It takes about an hour or so. And then the next step is we will burn off the alcohol in the rice cooker. But I'm going to jump off here. But you guys, seriously, try weed if you haven't. I don't care if you have kids or a job or whatever, as long as it's, sorry if your job doesn't allow it, that sucks. But I mean, if it's something that you are able to do legally, for like, you're not going to lose your whole life over, give it a try, because it can change your life. And if you have a job that you can't smoke weed, man, that sucks. I would recommend changing jobs because I ain't doing no job that doesn't let me smoke weed anymore. Honestly, they actually told me I couldn't even have VA benefits because I smoke weed, and I said, you can take your VA benefits, shove them up your ass, I don't care. I don't need them when you smoke weed. So, can you believe that they take away people's VA benefits if you have a medical card? What kind of bullshit is that? So I'm saying, the government does not want you smoking weed. As they made it illegal for so many years, because once you smoke weed, you're going to realize all the nonsense going on. And they don't want that. They want you dumbed down, drinking your alcohol and your caffeine and eating your sugar and getting fat and stupid. And go to work and don't say nothing, don't question nothing. Just continue to drink the Kool-Aid. That's what they want. So weed gets you out of that. And that's why it was legal for so many years, because it's scary when people have knowledge. Knowledge is power. So, anyways, I'm going to jump off here because that's going to strain. Me and Jedi Rich are going to watch some movies here in movie time. We were watching Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Great movie. Did you guys know Nicolas Cage was in that movie? Yeah, we love Nicolas Cage. He has a tiny role. We just noticed him at the burger joint. He wasn't even like he didn't even have like a character name. He was just like a stand-in. He was really young. Anyways, okay, I'm just babbling here, so I'm going to turn these off. Bye, guys. So, try weed. Oh, where is it?